after get new worker, she work very good. She can do 2 days in 4 ride, turn soil. Kill very hard. Only 3 days, grow again. Every 3 days, like rain season, I just tell worker to turn soil and take out the grass. From now I not cover with straw because I have to put cow poo or fertilizer first, and I don't want to put straw because when take out grass or throw fertilizer, that it's very hard. I need to open straw, clear straw, and can take out grass.
Sun is up, the sky is blue. Dave and then your work to do. Grab the baskets, clear the line. Watch the yellow citrus shine. Living fresh and living free. Deep in the country. 1, 2, squeeze it tight. Everything is feeling right. 3, 4, out the door. Get ready for some more. Hey, look around, we're shaking up the ground. 11 from Thailand, the joy is found. Squeeze the day, make it bright. Everything is feeling right. Yeah, we're making dreams come true. Deep in Thailand, standard brand new.
Well, this is box number 2. I think it's a better solution, although maybe still not the best solution. So the last box, it's very basic, very shoeboxy like. This one is box number 2. Okay, it's a bit bigger. Okay, so why is it bigger? It's wider. All right, so this is 9 inches in width, and you can see there's a separation here. Okay, the thickness of the box is better, it's 1 inches rather than 3/4 inch, and the depth is an extra inch. It's still about the same size, just over a foot. Okay, but the wood is thicker, the overall construction is better, it's a lot heavier, right? So what makes this box different is this. You can see this clip here, right? So if I unclip, right, I'll do this side. Okay, they're spring loaded. Basically this box comes apart. So this back, there's the front, remember, where the bees goes in, that's where the brood is in there, and there's a hole where they fly into. This is the back of the box, they fly in there and the honey goes in there. So better solution. The construction of the box, you can see they've just basically, let's measure that. So 5 inches. So that's 7 inches, that's 5 inches. And yeah, they've just made it separate. So the brood you do not touch. I like that idea. So what's in there, you don't touch, you don't damage it in any way. and you just simply pull it apart. I would say that's going to give you about half a kilo of honey, and that's going to take you at least a year. So they're a good box to just leave, and once a year, preferably sort of April, or they're twice a year. So April time, just before April, March, April, and the second time is around about November. All right, but if you want about a kilo, which this will give you, or close to, you want to be leaving it a year. So November to November, or the end of March to end of March. Okay, so it's very easy to put that together. I do like that. It's less invasive. But, so, price-wise, it's actually quite good value for money. It's not very well made. It's not perfect. The lid is a bit loose, and it's not exactly level. So bear that in mind if you're buying them from these mass suppliers. The cost of this was 300 baht, so let's round it up to about 8 US, thereabouts. Okay, maybe a bit more depending on the exchange rate. The cheap box, this one, this is about 200 baht. Okay, and again, the basic, they're just knocked in, hammer, nails. There's no real care. I don't like this one. So, marks out of 10 for the original box. I would give it maybe a 4 or 5, because it does the job, but it's not very ethical when it comes to harvesting the honey, right, in my opinion. The second box I like a lot better. It is better quality wood, it's thicker, it's heavier, and yeah, only 100 baht more. I think it's worth it, but I would give it a 7 maybe. Yeah, about a 7, only because it's not very level. So I think the builder could have taken a little bit more time with that. It's also not very level at the bottom, right? So, but it is more ethical in terms of taking the honey and not disturbing the brood. So yeah, maybe a 7. Okay, now just bear with me and let's do the other 2. So this is box number 3, and this is where, when I was looking for innovative ideas, one where I can truly separate the brood and the honey, and literally never touch the brood. Although I did like the second one in the other box, I don't think it was very easy to get. I don't think it's very easy. You've got to dig the honey out, and I think you'll understand why I prefer boxes 3 and 4. So this is a box that I purchased from a very famous stingless bee keeper here in Thailand. You can see it has the usual plastic lid at the front. Okay, there is a purpose for that, by the way. That's to stop water getting in. Okay, so that protects it a little bit, and also the bees do tend to use propolis and use this as a security gate, if you like. So here it is. Measurement wise, well, it's not very wide. It's 8 inches wide. Okay, let me do the depth. Depth wise, again, not very deep. 3.5 inches, so like the original box. And lengthwise, probably about a foot. Yeah, 1 foot. So 12 inches. Okay. So like I said, not very wide. It's actually quite small. And I understand why. So yeah, it's only 7.25 wide or width, right? So what makes this box unique? Well, I hope you can see it. This is the front, so here you have a brood. Here, the second bit, this is where the magic begins. I'm not sure if you can see, but at the back of the brood there's some holes that are drilled in there, right? 4 holes, and at the back you can see they put a little shelf, right? And there's a reason for that, and I'll show you now. So the idea being these. You put these in the back and you've got 8 holes drilled there at the bottom. They're covered by plastic, okay, on both sides, and you place it at the back there, right? So the bees, when they want to store the honey, they go in there in the 4 holes. They consequently go up here and fill each one. When I want to harvest, I just pull one out, put a new one back in. Simple as that. Very ethical, very, very clean. I don't even have to take the lid off the front. I just have to take the lid off the back here. Okay, so the brood is literally not touched at all. Right, so again, how long does it take to fill these 2? I've been told it's about a year again, and you will get half a kilo. I don't know. I will try it. All right, so overall, I think it's a good, well-made box. The wood is very much different. It's a hardwood, okay, more expensive wood, hence why it costs me a lot more money. So if you remember the cost of the other 2, one was 200 baht, one was 300 baht. This was 1,000 baht. Okay, so big difference. Do I think it's worth 1,000 baht? Yes, because of the wood that's used. It's hardwood. All right. So, excuse me. It's hardwood, so it is worth the money. However, I need 300. Right. Eventually, over time. So it's okay for a hobbyist. If you're going to have 3 or 4, it's fine. But for somebody who wants to be slightly more commercial, it's an expensive little box. And the guy who made this box, incidentally, has made one that's very similar to the one I'm going to show you now. It's even more expensive, and I don't understand how he can justify it. But so how many out of 10 I would give this an 8. I do like the design, it's exactly what I want, but I think I'm going to knock it down a point purely on the cost. It's very cost prohibitive, and it's not worth the money. All right, so time for number 1 box, so just bear with me. Oh, now this is heavy. So a couple of videos back, you'll remember, last video, I remember telling you about a beehive that I sent to Gordon, which is the one that you've just seen. And I said to Gordon, do your thing, right? It's the kind of thing I want, but the cost is crazy. He's got the engineer brain, right? So he made me a hive. Again, I'll put the link to that video in this video again, and you can see the story and understand the thinking behind his design. So I knew Gordon would take this challenge, and he did, and here it is. And this is heavy. Right, so here we go. Look at that. This is one heavy piece of wood. So we have the roof and back. So let's do measurements, shall we? This is too heavy to lift. Well, it's not too heavy, I'm just a weak ass git. So in terms of depth, it's about 7 inches. Length, just over a foot. And width, 8.5 inches. So let me just take it apart a little bit. It's already got ants in it. There we go. Right, so there we go. Big beast. So you can see that he's drilled a hole at the front. He's even put a lip there for the bees to dance on. Okay. Inside, well, this is where the brood goes, and this is where the honey is collected. Very similar design. You can't see at the bottom, he's drilled 4 holes there, right? And he's built a shelf there. Oh, I'm doing it the other way around. So this is where the honey goes, this is where the brood goes. Okay, all right, so you can see the hole there, and at the back here at the bottom is drilled 4 holes for the honey to go in there. So very similar to the other box. He's built these are bigger actually than the other ones, so oops. So these are 5.5 inches height, 6.5 wide. I suppose about do the interior, so 5 inches by 5 inches. So inside is 5 by 5. Okay, but it is quite thick, 2 inches thick. So you're going to get a fair amount of honey in that. And you basically, just like the other design, Gordon's just put them in there, right? He's put a little handle there, cover it with plastic, right? He's put a little screw there for a handle. So, again, no need to touch the brood at all, right? You just simply take those out, and like the other one, you put them back in, and there you go. All right, but this is a lot deeper, so the brood will be a lot bigger. So you should get more honey. Now Gordon did tell me the price of this, and remember, Gordon's not including his labour on this one. The lid's a bit tight, so I've got to varnish that down, sand that down a bit. But the cost of this one, I think Gordon told me it was about 300 baht. Okay, that doesn't include labour. So, and that's because of the quality of the wood. All right, this is really good, strong wood. There's no termites. There's nothing that's gonna dig into this wood at all. And he has covered it in linseed oil as well. So, yeah, very, very, very heavy. Right, I mean, this alone is about the weight of one of those boxes. Not because it's Gordon. I have chosen this as my favourite, and he has sent me a jig. Thank you very much, Gordon. So I need to test them really. So I've got 3 boxes that I need to test. It's a bit too hot to be splitting a hive now. Really, you should be doing that either late in the evening or early morning before full sun. And it's full sun now, so I'm not going to do that now. But score out of 10, I'll give Gordon a 9 out of 10. Right, he did say if David will use it or he might think it's crap. Well, I don't think it's crap, right? And I will use it, and I will build on this design, because I think it's a good design. Right, going to get a big brood in there. We're going to get a lot of honey. Right, so you're going to get a lot of honey in there once a year. You might even get more than a kilo with these 2. So, you know, next part of the video, of course, both Patnery and I will split a hive. I've got to look at the hives. Hopefully I've got 3 that I can split. I should have. If I've got 3, we'll put 3. But definitely 2, and yeah, you can have a look at that. Patnery will do that. You know me, I've got the shakes a little bit, so shaky hand syndrome, not a good thing to have when you're splitting bees. Poor bees. So, but it is a fairly easy thing to do, but with a steady hand, of course. So hope that explains itself. Probably in the next video we'll do the splitting, and then of course it's a matter of time. What we're in now, we're near the end. I think we're near the end of June, 22nd, something like that. So give it to the end of November, and let's see how we get on. Whichever one wins out in terms of productivity, whichever ones the bees prefer, that's the one I'll go with. But I like Gordon's box, and if I do end up making 300 of them, it's going to be called the GT Hive. Alright, so hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, catch you later. That's the hives. So go for a quick walk round. Hope you enjoy the new intro, and yeah, that was filmed by Steve Darkin, one of our subscribers and very good friend now. Something happened. I just want to touch upon something. Something happened last week. That's why we didn't put a video out. We were busy last week. But But Steve is over from England to see Pim, obviously, and continue preparing his new life out here in Thailand. And we said we'd go and visit. However, those of you that know or have met us and have met our wonderful little boy Oliver know that he's slightly different, he's slightly autistic, and it doesn't make it easy to travel with Oliver. So I mentioned this to Steve, and without hesitation he said, I'll come and visit you then, and which is great. And he did, and Pim came, and they were here last Monday, Tuesday. Plus we then got another visitor, unexpected visitor at the same time. So we were rather busy last week, to say the least. But something happened last week with Oliver, and he just chilled. He was so relaxed around Steve and Pim that, you know, we've never seen him, both Pat Marie and I have never seen him like that relaxed with, not necessarily strangers. He'd met Steve before, but Steve will tell you the first time he met him, he was hiding behind me, hiding behind Pat Marie, because that's what he does. If he doesn't know you, he's super shy. And that's part of his autistic nature. Very, very clever young man. But yeah, he was super, super chill around Steve. He was a bit chatty, very outgoing. Not necessarily chatty to Steve, but he wasn't hiding from Steve. So that's a development. That's a huge move forward for us. So Steve, I don't know what you did, mate. You did something, because he was a different kid. So thanks for that. And he actually said when you left, I like Steve, I like Pim. So you've got a friend, mate. Let's have a look over here. There's the cows enjoying the grass. Look like they're on our part of the land, but they're not. So let's have a look at this road, how it's going. So there's the bridge. You can see they've concreted it. Let's get a bit closer without trying to kill myself. So put the concrete plinths in now, right? There's the road that way, all right. And I think you can see a bit clearer now where that digger is over there. That's the road that cuts through. It doesn't look that big a road, but so what they've done, they've laid pipes, drainage pipes, that all go into this, and so all the rainwater will go into here, and yeah. So I don't know how long this is going to take them. They're on about week 3 or 4. Okay. I'm assuming it'll take a while, a couple of more months. It hasn't rained for about 4 days. Well, I think, yeah, Steve left on Wednesday morning. There's the clung, kind of halfway through now. So, yeah, so I'm just trying to show you a little bit more because this is dry. I can stand on it. You can see the water's going to go through there. And yeah, on top of that, they'll build the road that goes up there. And there's a clong that goes to the other road, right? And there's our farm. So, yeah, they're moving at a fair pace. Been a few holidays here and there, so production's stopped. I suppose they're just letting concrete settle now on the bridge there. And yeah, that's that. So what else? That's it really. Patnery's doing some repair work. We've had a few workers in and they've cut pipes, but don't tell you. Right, so when you come to water, where's all the water coming from? They've cut the pipe. So yeah, and that's it. So that's the update from this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Next video we will show the hive splitting. I do have to send Gordon some propolis. And I've got to go out and buy some plastic for these hives. So I'll go out and buy that, and maybe tomorrow or some point this week, Patnery and I will film splitting hives, and hope you enjoy that particular video. As always, thank you to the new subscribers, quite a few of you from the last video. We do welcome you, we do welcome your comments, good, bad, ugly, whatever. Get them down there, press the thumbs up. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, it is free. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you in future videos. All right, ciao for now.